I am not often being asked how I came to be in the scanner world. Let me tell you my story. In 1988, my precious 4-year-old son was diagnosed with Tourettes syndrome. For a 34-year-old professional and a single mother, that was to say, as of this moment, your life as you know it is over. For the rest of your days, you are doomed to live in constant torturous pain of watching the love of your life, suffering the never-ending agony of being unable to control his own body, being ridiculed, being treated as a freak. Frightening images instantaneously flashed before my eyes at that moment, and tons of bricks on my chest and shoulders suddenly made it difficult to breathe. As a medical doctor, I knew what that diagnosis meant. For the next several years, those images were becoming reality, one after another. By the time my son turned 9, he could hardly look at the world as his eyes were compulsively blinking, and other tics, and as you know, it's involuntary movements resulting from spontaneous muscle contractions. So other tics consumed the rest of his tiny little body. We were lucky, though, because God gave my son a wonderful, shiny personality, big heart, sharp sense of humor, and great friends. He was loved, supported, and never ridiculed. Yet he was only 9 and under my strong protection. What was going to happen to him in the big world? My torture continued. Of course, I did not just passively watch my son slowly being destroyed by the debilitating disorder. I explored every possible resource that mainstream medicine, my family of 3 generations of medical scientists, and my own position as an assistant clinical professor at the eye surgery department of the 3rd largest medical academy in Russia had to offer, as well as the top diagnostic procedures, the biggest names in neurology and pediatrics, all to no avail. The origin of the disorder remained unknown, thus leaving conventional medicine powerless. As you know, in the war on disease medical model, not knowing the cause of disease means no identified enemy. Therefore, no therapy aiming at the core of the issue. We were on our own. From where I stand now, conventional medicine giving up on us was a pure blessing. At least it did not do any harm by interfering with the body's natural healing powers. And boy, did we engage those powers later. In 1995, my son was 11 at the time. A colleague of mine, the top traumatologist in the region, informed me about an interesting and quite controversial, from a mainstream point of view, study being conducted by a former space research team on a handheld device originally developed for cosmonauts as a universal regulator of bodily functions. He called it SCENAR. Well, it stands for Self-Controlled Energoneuroadaptive Regulator. Quite a mouthful. And my colleague said that he personally had almost miraculous results with this remote control in his department. My colleague also said that the SCENAR team was looking for medical doctors, specialists in different areas, to study the effect of the device in their respective practices. Knowing my tendency to go outside the box, he thought it would be something interesting for me to look at. If you only knew how much outside the box I was prepared to go to find something, anything, to help my son. Needless to say, I jumped on the opportunity. I undertook the task of researching the SCENAR effects in ophthalmology, which is eye surgery and eye therapy, and soon I attended one of the first SCENAR conferences in Odessa, now Ukraine. That's where I first met the legends of the SCENAR world, Dr. Yuri Garfinkel, Dr. Alexander Venko, Dr. Joseph Semikatov, and many others who became my close friends and colleagues for years to come. That SCENAR gathering changed my life forever. First and foremost, it changed me. But this is another story, which I will tell you some other time. It took 3 courses of treatment, each course consisting of treatments for 7-10 days, conducted by both Dr. Yuri and Dr. Alexander Venko, for my son to show significant improvement. The courses were several months apart, as the original SCENAR team was located in Taganrog, a small southern Russian city, and they only visited my home city of Nizhny Novgorod 2-3 times a year for training and research. In the meanwhile, we did some home treatments once in a while, and that was it. My son's tics started gradually disappearing after a certain period of plateau. Not better, but not worse. There are no words to describe my relief and the warm wave of realization that I was witnessing the healing miracle right here in front of my eyes when I first saw the unquestionable signs of improvement. I think I cried and scared my sensitive son, who didn't know yet what happy tears looked like. On the 31st of March 2008, Denis turns 24. He has no trace of Tourette's, and no one meeting him now would ever guess that at some point in his life he had to really concentrate and make an effort just to put a spoon in his mouth or keep his eyes open to be able to read. We both live in Canada. Denis graduated with honors from the University of Texas at Austin and took a job as a financial analyst for the AMD Corporation in Toronto. He is handsome and healthy, studies jiu-jitsu, loves his computer games, and he is constantly being lectured by me of the evils of it. He has lots of friends in several countries. In other words, my son is out of the nest, completely on his feet, and lives a happy, fulfilled life with a bright future in front of him. The life that he may have been deprived of if I never came across SCENAR. There is also something else worth mentioning in this story. Besides Tourette's, my son had other health challenges, which were not our primary area of concern. Flat feet, minor digestive problems, mild allergies, Baker's cyst, and this is like hernia-like cyst behind the knee joint. For this one, my son was scheduled for surgery just before we started SCENAR therapy. We never even treated Denis specifically for these conditions. Well, after 3 courses of therapy for Tourette's, there were no more digestive problems, no more Baker's cyst, and his feet started developing arches. The arches are fully formed now, even though my son never wore orthopedic shoes or appliances in his life. The well-balanced body just took care of the problems, one by one. Well, there are no allergies either. Since 1996, it has been my mission to make SCENAR technology available to everyone on the planet. Everyone deserves a chance for a better life, just as this chance was given to Denis and me. For many of those in need of a healing miracle, SCENAR may be an answer, and even if a miracle doesn't happen, because there are no panaceas in the art of medicine and some conditions are tougher than others. But still, SCENAR will certainly create some positive changes in the person's life. I never saw SCENAR fail in that department. In 1997, I took SCENAR outside of Russia. First, it moved with me to the Bahamas, and from there, the technology started its way to the world at large. If you want to know more about it, you can watch the SCENAR story video on this site. As the SCENAR miracles multiply, each day there are more and more of us, those who want to see SCENAR as a universal health assistant to everyone. At some stage, awareness will reach the point where information will be impossible to suppress. Until then, though, SCENAR is still fragile. It still hasn't quite matured yet. Still needs attention and protection. I have the unique advantage of having been an active part of the SCENAR community for the last 12 years, and the privilege of knowing personally virtually every key person in the SCENAR world and almost every SCENAR model in the market, as well as the privilege of working closely for a long time with the original Russian designer of SCENAR, Dr. Alexander Karasev. In this site, I want to share my knowledge of the field with you to ensure that you have the best chances to make the SCENAR magic work for you. Welcome to the controversial and chaotic, but very dynamic and exciting SCENAR world.